Okay, we've all been there, right? You're in the kitchen, you're making dinner, you start chopping an onion, and then, boom, the waterworks begin. It's one of those kitchen mysteries we all just accept. But what's really going on? What is the secret chemical weapon hidden inside this everyday vegetable?
And yeah, it really does feel like a fight, doesn't it? You versus the onion. And it turns out that's not far from the truth. The onion has an invisible chemical defense, and it's incredibly effective. So today, we're going to break down exactly how this humble kitchen staple wages war on your tear ducts.
All right, so let's play detective for a minute. Let's investigate this kitchen crime scene. The victim, well, that's your poor stinging eyes. The weapon, an onion. Seems innocent enough. Our mission is to figure out what happens from the moment you make that very first slice.
I mean, just think about how fast it happens. 1 second, you're fine. The next second, your eyes are burning. It's almost instant. And that's because the second your knife breaks that onion skin, you've basically set off a super sophisticated rapid-fire defense mechanism. So now, let's dive into the science behind that sting. And get this isn't just some weird random side effect. Nope, it's actually a pretty brilliant piece of evolution. This chemical trick is designed specifically to stop pests and animals from eating the onion.
To really get this, you got to picture the onion on a microscopic level. Imagine its cells are like tiny little balloons or storage lockers. And inside, there are different chemicals just hanging out, but they're kept safely apart from each other. As long as those cell walls are up, everything's cool, no problem.
So here you can see exactly what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got those intact cells. Everything is stable and separate. But then, you come along with your knife, you slice right through, and those walls, they just come crashing down. That is the trigger. All those chemicals that were kept apart are now suddenly free to mix, and that's when the magic, or the misery, begins.
So it all boils down to this super fast 3-step chain reaction. First, your knife breaks the cells. That's step 1. Step 2, an enzyme, it's called alliinase, instantly mixes with these sulfur compounds that were just chilling in the cell. And step 3, that chemical handshake creates a brand new unstable gas. And that gas, that's our invisible attacker.
All right, so we know how the weapon gets made, but what is it exactly, and how does it make us cry? This is the really cool part, where the onion's chemistry lesson crashes right into our own biology.
And here is our culprit. The bad guy's official name is, get ready for it, syn-propanethyl S-oxide. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. It's a total mouthful, right? Which is why scientists came up with a much cooler nickname, the lacrimatory factor. Lacrimal is just a fancy word related to tears, so it literally means the crying agent. Now, because this stuff is a gas, it's super lightweight. It just floats up off your cutting board like it's on a mission, seeking out the nearest source of water it can find, and you guessed it, the closest target is the moisture right on the surface of your eyes. So what happens when it gets there? Well, when that gas dissolves in the moisture of your eye, it forms a very mild sulfuric acid. Yep, acid. Your body's internal alarm system goes off immediately. Tiny nerves basically scream, "intruder," and your tear glands spring into action, releasing a flood of tears to try and wash that irritant out. So all that crying, it's actually just your body's very smart defense mechanism kicking in.
Okay, so this is all fascinating, but let's be real. If you're getting into a chemical war every time you want to make some soup, the real question is, how do you win? How can you fight back against the onion?
Well, thankfully, the same science that explains the problem also gives us the solutions. So let's open up the old anti-crying toolkit. I'm going to give you a few simple, effective tricks you can use to finally chop your onions in peace. Tip number 1, fight back with cold. Just pop your onion in the fridge, or even the freezer, for about 30 minutes before you cut it. The cold basically puts the brakes on that whole chemical reaction. A slower reaction means way less of that irritating gas gets released into the air. Simple. All right, tip number 2, and this one's a big one. Use a really sharp knife. This is all about minimizing the damage. A sharp knife gives you a clean slice right through the cells. But a dull knife, it just smashes and tears everything up, which releases a ton more of those chemicals. So remember, less damage means less gas, and less gas means fewer tears.
Tip 3 is super easy. Get some air moving. Cut your onion near an open window or just turn on that fan over your stove. The moving air literally blows the gas away from your face before it can ever get to your eyes. It's about as low-tech as it gets, but hey, it really works.
And our last tip, number 4, use water as a shield.
Now, this one's for when you're really serious about not crying. You can actually cut the onion in a bowl of water or under a running faucet. What happens is the gas dissolves straight into the water instead of floating up into the air. It gets trapped before it can even make a run for your eyes.
So, there you have it. The onion isn't just a simple vegetable, it's a master of chemical self-defense. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What other incredible secrets are just hiding in plain sight in the food we eat every single day?